Hello, everyone. You are welcome to another episode of the Journey series with Truthfully Evolving. And first of all, I want to say I I know I've been behind time when it comes to this particular channel, and the truth is, when it comes to messages that I post, it's more about timing, divine timing, and today just happens to be one of those days where I just zoned into this energy of wanting to share something with you all because this is something that I realized after coming out of my healing phase, okay? And you guys know how much I emphasize on healing. It's because it's like that's the major part of the human self, okay? And that's like the number one thing for anybody that is going through spiritual awakening. It's like when you're on this spiritual journey, the important thing that you need to learn is the act of healing. And you also need to be okay with that. You need to be comfortable with that because that's how you grow on a soul level. And I think the last time that I posted on this channel concerning this, in regards to this journey series, I did made mention that I want to end this series, but I feel like the divide is not done yet. Okay, so today's message is quite, I don't, it's maybe different for me, okay, because now it's like, and I've had these experiences before now, okay, I would say many times before now, but I feel like this is the first time that I'm actually looking at this situation from this perspective, and I don't know if anybody is on the same journey with me, but this is what I experienced, and this is what I learned on my journey, on my healing journey. Um, so this message will resonate with those of you that are you are on a self healing journey and also a twin flame journey. Okay, so I wrote out a few things on my notes and I just want to share something here. So let me start with this um two things first of all, okay? And before I get right to that, I want to say this. Many times we suffer greatly, not because of what someone else did to us, but because of what we did to ourselves. How we become our own problem and not being our own solution, if that makes sense. So, there are two things I want to touch on in regards to today's message, and I want to be very, very quick. The first thing is abandonment. And for me, I can say, yeah, I've had like my own share fair when it comes to my own fair share, okay, when it comes to abandonment. I've been in relationships or connections that really trigger that part of myself in the past, where if I am in a connection with you, if I'm in a relationship with you or as a friend, when I realize that it is getting to a point where I feel like the connection is about to end, I get scared. I tend to have this intense fear of somebody leaving me. And then it comes back to me asking myself, oh, why is this person leaving me? Am I not good enough? Is there something wrong with me? Do I have a problem? And in cases where I've had people disconnect from me many times, I have to be honest with you, where people did disconnect themselves from me, I had to question myself so many times. I had to question my value, my self worth, my importance. I had to really ask myself, am I doing something wrong? Did I do something wrong? Is there something wrong with me? Am I a bad person? And many times, like when I do that self introspection, when I go within myself and start asking myself those questions, 9 out of 10 times I blame myself and I feel like, oh, maybe this is because you're like this or because you're like that. And then I came to that conclusion that, oh, I'm not good enough. I came to that conclusion that, nobody wants to be around me because I'm not good enough. I don't have what it takes to keep a person, to keep friendship, to keep connection. So that mindset really did affect me, okay, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and otherwise. And that's something that I had to learn to heal from. And what happened was the universe has a way of teaching you something, even though sometimes you might not be ready for it, right? So in that season, what I realized was I started attracting people that reflected that part of myself back to me, where I kept questioning my self-worth, I kept questioning my importance, I kept questioning myself. And it got to a point where I had to tell myself, no, I don't think I'm the problem. I don't think it is my problem. I think it is their problem. And I did not say that because I wanted to run away from my own personal problem or how I felt. I learned to discern, not just discern, but I learned to, I want to say observe, but there's the particular word I'm looking for, but it's more like knowing, getting to that state of knowingness where you're like, okay, this is my fault and this is not my fault. And I choose not to take on this person's fault. I choose not to take on this person's baggage because that's not who I am and that's not what it is. Okay. And when it comes to abandonment, I had to learn because when people started living my life often, many times, I had to learn that they were teaching me a part of myself that I was afraid to accept. Okay. I didn't like the fact that people would leave me, disconnect from me, because it always made me feel like I was the problem. But then realizing that it was not even about me, it was about a part of myself that I needed to fix. If that makes sense, okay? So if you're currently in that space where you're dealing with abandonment issue, okay, where you feel triggered when people abandon you, this could be in relationships, friendship, or whatever this could be. If you feel like, oh, you need to attach yourself to certain people because you don't like the idea of being single, you feel like you need to attach yourself to certain groups because you don't like the idea of being by yourself, that's a part of yourself that you need to fix. That's a wound that needs to heal. You need to heal from that one because you have to get to a place where you have to be comfortable with people not wanting to be around you. You have to get to the place where you're comfortable with the fact that there are people that will never like you. You have to be comfortable with the fact that you need to spend time by yourself, be by yourself, enjoy your own company. And it has nothing to do with you not being good enough. No, it's more like creating that space for yourself to know thyself, to enable you awaken to thy true self, if that makes sense. Okay, so that's the first part, abandonment. So if that's something that you're dealing with, that's a part of yourself that you need to fix. If you start getting this sense of fear when people, start living your life, or relationships comes to an end, you start feeling this sense of abandonment. This is saying you are neglecting a part of yourself that you need to fix. And that's where self-healing comes in. That's where self-introspection comes in. And I hope this makes sense for somebody. Okay, so the second agenda that I want to touch on is attachment issues. And this is also, in alignment with abandonment as well, because when you get so attached to people and they leave you, you start feeling abandoned by the same people. But when you don't have attachment issues, you understand that when people disconnect from you, it is also a safe space for you where you can also be yourself without feeling triggered. All right. So if that's something that you're currently dealing with, attachment issues, many times we get so attached not just to people, but to certain mindsets, to certain beliefs, certain traits, certain characters, certain behaviors, certain habits. And these are things that when we don't recognize them, it becomes a limiting factor in our life where um we tend to keep going around in circles because we've not really figured out the part of ourselves that needs to be fixed. So, um, one thing I also realized on my journey while in this healing phase is that we, first of all, you're a soul before anything else. The soul has already gone through the life lessons, all of the life lessons, everything that you're meant to experience in this lifetime. Your soul has already experienced it, and that's why I don't want to go into that, but that's why people talk about reincarnation. Okay, but that's another topic for another day. But in the context of this message, today's message, um in I've this is the case whereby when the soul is ready to transition to learn a lesson for the purpose of the soul growth, right? This lesson is often being presented in other people, which clearly means that when we've outgrown the mundane, okay, there are certain things that we will be coerced to let go of, okay, to detach from. And there are things that we will be coerced to heal from, okay, and these are things like old beliefs, mother wounds, father wounds, inner child trauma, self-sabotage, attachment issues, abandonment issues, low self-esteem. Think of anything else, okay, etc etc. So when a soul is ready to learn, okay, to move to the next level, because like I said, the soul has already gone through all of it, but you as the person, right, you're yet to conform to that. So when a soul is ready to transition to go through the next process, okay, of healing, what happens is this tends to show up in form of people, in other people, right? So which means that you tend to attract people that will sometimes reflect that part of yourself, reflect this abandonment, attachment, self-sabotage. There are people that you come across that when you meet them, you see that they could be very good for you. Like, you see that this person could be a good person, this person has what it takes to be around you, this person loves you, this person is genuine, but because that's something that you're not used to, you tend to self-sabotage it because you've not really you've not really fixed that part of yourself. There are people that ruin good things because they struggle with father wounds, mother wounds, abandonment issues, childhood trauma, attachment issues. They tend to ruin good things because of that. And when it's time for you to release yourself from those things, when it's time for you, because those are mundane things, okay, those are things that keeps you trapped in the 3D realm. So when it's time for you to move away from those things, the universe, right, tends to send people into your life, certain people into your life that will reflect this back to you, this part of yourself back to you, to more like stand as a tool, okay. These people will show up in your life, they become a tool, or you might say a weapon, okay, that triggers you to your healing. All right. That's why many times when you meet certain people, after the connection comes to an end, you start grieving their loss. After the connection comes to an end, sometimes you tend to start questioning the purpose of the connection or the purpose of that person in your life. So that's what happens when a soul is ready to transition. Okay. And when people like that, quote unquote, the good people, right? People that has healed, when they come into your life, because you're in your unhealed version, you don't recognize them because you are still in this mundane, you're still in that mundane phase. And that phase is what I was also called the illusion phase, where you don't see things clearly because you're more fixated on, the physical things. This could be lust, this could be money, this could be selfish desires, this could be material gains, okay, where you're so into all of that and you don't really see people beyond that. And when people like that leave, there's tend to be a sense of realization of, oh, now I understand why I cross path with this person. Oh, now I understand this person was showing me genuine love. This person was trying to open my heart. Okay. So people tend to become the tool or the weapon for, recreation, more like saying for healing. And these are people that they tend to become our own reflection, and this gives us room for self introspection within ourselves. And now few people choose to heal from this experience by choosing to transmute the pain rather than identify themselves with the baggages. Okay, because the baggage, it's not who you are, it is what you've been conditioned to conform to by your choice. Okay, so there are other people that when they go through the same experience, they choose not to transmute the pain, they choose not to heal from that. Okay, and that's where it becomes a problem. But I will have to say this: healing generally is a journey. It's a step by step procedure. It is not an overnight thingy. So if there are things that you need to heal from, give yourself the time and grace. And that's what I emphasize on as well on this channel: time and grace. Be gentle on yourself while on the journey. Be gentle on yourself. Be gentle on the next person. Okay. And I need you to also understand that when it comes to abandonment, this is something that many of you might say, oh no, I don't have abandonment issues. But if you go within yourself, how you respond when people leave your life says a lot about if you have it or you don't. Oh, I don't have attachment issues, I can actually stay without people. But when people leave your life, how you respond to that reflect back on if you've truly if truly you don't have attachment issues or not. So if this is in a twin flame connection here, where there are people that you connected with, okay, there could be someone that you connected with for a short time. I need you to also understand that the purpose of that connection is for growth. And for me personally, I see the twin flame connection as a teacher and a student connection. I see the twin flame connection as the purpose of the twin flame connection, okay, for me personally, is for the purpose of growth and healing. And if this is a case whereby you connected with somebody and you know within yourself that this person is your twin flame, you both have a connection, because the twin flame is a reflection here. The twin flame is like a mirror. So okay, you see through this person sees through you. This, you see a part of yourself in this person sees a part of themselves in you. What the twin flame does is, I point my fingers at you, that same finger is pointing back at me. What the twin flame is all about is finding a part of yourself, or more like, let me reinstate that. It's more like saying, recognizing a part of yourself that you are yet to heal from, or a part of yourself that you've healed from. And when you're able to identify that, when you're able to realize that, okay, me being with this person, I realized that I still have abandonment issues. I still have attachment issues. This is something that I need to, and this person will trigger that part. This person will make you question yourself. This person will make you question your self-worth, your value. And the purpose of that is to awaken you. Okay. The universe is asking you, have you really healed from that part of yourself? So when these people or this person comes into your life, they tend to project the part of yourself that you need to heal from. And what you also do in their life is you reflect back to them a part of themselves that they need to heal from. So that is why when it comes to a twin flame journey, it is really, really important that you have a clearer understanding of what you're meant to learn from that experience. Okay. So yeah, that is basically what it is. So if you're currently going through a twin flame separation journey, and you really don't know why this person is holding back or that person is holding back, healing is taking place. Give yourself the time and grace to heal. Give this person time and grace to heal. Okay. Like I said, the purpose of this meeting was for growth and healing. So you is not just a one-sided thing. It's two ways. You need to heal. This person needs to heal. And it's also about you healing yourself, healing the inner child to enable you ascend to your higher self. That's also the purpose here. So if this is a case whereby if this message tends to resonate with you and you feel like this is what you need to hear, allow yourself go through the healing process. Okay? Allow yourself go through the healing process. Allow yourself learn to be comfortable with people not choosing you. Learn to be comfortable with people not wanting to be around you. It's not because there's something wrong with you. It's not because you're a bad person, but because you have to get to the point where you love yourself, that no matter what, no matter who, you can still stand strong by yourself. That's the purpose of all of this. So if you're dealing with abandonment issues, attachment issues, the purpose, what you're meant to learn from that is self-love. Okay? Give that love to yourself, realizing that you don't really need people to love you, but people loving you is a plus. But the love that comes and that stays true is the one that you give to yourself. So this time, instead of you feeling abandoned, instead of you feeling this sense of, this attachment to people, don't be attached to people's baggages. Don't be attached to people's wounds. The purpose of the connection is for you to transmute that, okay, and heal from that. Don't become people's baggages. Don't become people's problem. If this is a case whereby you connected with someone that is dealing with abandonment issues, you need to ask yourself, is this me? Is this my energy? Or is this person's energy? Learn to differentiate the two of them. And if this is your energy, fix it. If this is this person's energy, know that, okay, I've healed this part of myself. What is this teaching me? Because sometimes you hold on to other people's baggages thinking it's yours because you are unable to differentiate what is truly yours and what is not. So that's all. I'll just leave this here because I feel like I've said enough. But if this message resonates with you, then I feel like this is what you need to know at this time. Okay. So I'll leave this message here and I pray that it gets to who needs to hear this.